Hey, have
Hey,
you read From the Prison of Slavery to the Slaver of Prison by Angela Davis?
I actually have. And I just want to know, what were the main takeaways that you got from it?
Well, me personally, I felt that it was very interesting to see how slavery has so much in common with the incarceration of black people. And basically, it's like modern day slavery. Like, people always talk about it, but I never knew that it was actually this true. What about you?
Well, what blew my mind was the loophole that's actually in the 13th Amendment saying that you can, treat anybody as a slave if they commit a crime. And so that's leaving, it all open for anybody, that's happened to commit whoever considers it to be a crime.
Yeah. And then what I found interesting was that, like, many of the crimes that were actually committed were actually committed by white people who were in blackface, who also often get away with the crime just because they'll wipe their face off, they'll be white again. And so basically it was like black people were being arrested for crimes they didn't commit, for just crimes, just like little things like stealing a hat. Like people, they'll be treated as hardened criminals for very minor crimes. I thought that was pretty interesting because today with the drug, with the weed, so the war on drugs is basically fighting against mainly weed, and the same drug is legal in so many states and so many places around the world, but people can be put in 10 years of prison for smoking a joint or selling dope.
I'm sorry. Oh
It's
no, I'm
just
sorry.
crazy. And so I felt like a lot of what I really enjoyed about this whole passage is that many of the things that Angela Davis was saying is very present today. It's like she was like a prophet or something. Like she had a very prophetic word to speak to us, and that's why I think she wrote it for us in class and for just anybody in general to just look at it and be like, wow, it's just crazy because it's still going on. So it means that we gotta fight like she fought.
Right. And I feel like what I understood that I hadn't understood before was that crimes begin, like for black people, it almost begins in slavery because we were stole from where we originated. And so in order to gain our freedom, we kind of have to be criminals. We kind of have to, in a way, steal back our freedom. And it even becomes second nature because, what other people have, what other white people have, what other races have isn't naturally given to you. You have to usually fight for it and break rules. And so criminality is actually not what we view it as normally for black people.
Yeah. And then another thing is that the whole institution of incarceration was actually used to disenfranchise the black people that were just brought out of slavery. So the slaves, as soon as they got out of slavery, they were like, oh yeah, we can vote. It's lit. But then, no. Those black codes, and then just the whole situation in general, they wanted to keep black people in prison because once black people were in prison, they could never vote again. So basically, when so many black people were being locked up, once they got out, they could never vote. They had no say in the government. They had no say in laws. They had no representation. It was like slavery part 2, honestly.
And what I feel like I learned about it was that, in a way, many of our leaders weren't really they weren't really addressing it. A lot of them kind of thought oh, it'll kind of go away. When slavery is over, they won't have a reason to continue to imprison us. But it's really just a different form of slavery that they've created. And essentially, we've even had things like black codes come up where it's crimes that are specifically geared towards black people. No one else can be committed to these crimes, such as, just having a random, insulting gesture that, could be freedom of speech for somebody else.
Yeah. And one thing that I did not know before that I actually learned was that I did not know that W.B. Du Bois and Frederick Douglass had such a strong voice in the matter. They recognized what was going on, but I think in Frederick Douglass' case, he kind of figured that it would go away, things would be better, just take time, which was kind of his philosophy always. Him as well as Booker T. Washington both had the same kind of principles when it comes to that. But W.B. Du Bois saw that he actually saw what was going on. He saw that it was actually a race thing, and what he theorized that actually removing the profit from the leasing of prison labor will actually remove the whole racist part of the situation. And I thought that was pretty interesting. So basically, I think that, and then even today, you can see that the majority of people incarcerated are black people, although we're only like 12% of the population, which is, and then it's crazy to think that these things are still going on, but they are. And I think that everyone should read this passage, and should just study Angela Davis, should study the works of W.B. Du Bois and everyone like that, and kind of wake up, because the world is changing. It hasn't changed that much apparently, but yeah, it's a lot of work to do.
A lot.
Anything else you want to add?
Well, I mean, I just wanted to say that, yeah, prison is basically like slavery. I mean, they have, like, back in the day, them being sold for like $3, like prison labor. And people are actually making profit off of prison labor today, like with things like ALEC that came out, like such as Victoria's Secret and Walmart and other programs like that, making money off of prison labor.
One thing that blew my mind was that Sodexo, the company that we actually get our food from, is actually funding these prisons. So it's ironic to me, because it's like we're paying them for food. So, and we're kind of like the HBCUs, we as in HBCUs, and so HBCUs pay this company to provide food for us, and it's like the same. And HBCUs are made to lift black people up, to raise up the youth, and it's ironic that the company that we're funding is actually also funding the same institution that has been bringing us down for hundreds of years. And I don't know, it's crazy to think about. Just give you something to think about.
All right, y'all.
But that's it.
Read it.